Hi, I'm Beetle, and it's time for. Uh, what? The Halloween special. What was that noise? Huh? Ah! Oh, you made me scream. So, yes, as you can see, I decided to make several movie posters. Let's say horror movie posters in MSPAINT. And I started with my favorite scary masked guy, Ghostface. My story with Ghostface wasn't the normal one, I believe, because funnily enough, I became a fan while watching, the scary movie. And I mean, not Scream, the actual parody scary movie. And I only watched Scream a few years ago, probably even after watching that MTV Scream series, which I actually get the feeling that it's not the most widely enjoyed series. Because, series like that can be cheesy at times and all of that. But, or maybe it would be because of the mask changes, but I think I enjoyed that still. And in the recent years, well, I found myself playing a lot of Dead by Daylight, and I'm a Ghostface main, so what can I say? Stalking around and peeking can be a lot of fun, especially as a spooky guy with a knife. It's fun. So yeah, big fan, right? Now, I wanted to talk more about the piece, and I had this idea that I don't know if it was normally used or not, but I knew that I wanted to use a specific background color, so I decided to color that first instead, so that the other colors that I would be using would match up. And I think I got exactly what I wanted with that, but I still struggled a lot with the pose. Somehow I had an idea, and my ideas tend to be a lot of an abstract idea that I can see it, but I can't represent it exactly in the real world, at least not the first time. And I couldn't pinpoint exactly what I wanted to do, so I actually did two sketches before I ended up with this one. And while those were a failure, I think they did help me to understand the shapes that I was working with, and then so I could get the last one, which I think works a lot better. Some funny things while I was working on this piece was that I actually gave space to every area where there would be a letter. And while drawing the letters, somehow I forgot of the R. So I said to myself, I must have counted wrong. There's a space for an extra letter? What is going on here? And then I looked again and I said, wait, scheme? Seam? What? I'm so dumb. At least I double checked before putting scheme. At the end, I got it right. The actual title, Scream, yes. Also, there are basically two suits that exist, the movie suit and the one you usually buy. And this one uses more of the characteristics of the retail one, because I was gonna use the more blocky rectangular strands that the movie ones use, but actually feel my style is much better suited with those triangular shapes. And here it is, Ghostface from Scream. What's your favorite scary movie? That can't be. Today's not Friday, and much less the 13th. Now we have Jason from the Friday the 13th series. Now, this one is one that I haven't really delved too deep into, I think I've seen the remake and some fragments of at least one. Oh, and maybe some also fragments of the Freddy versus Jason thing. But at least what I've seen, I think I enjoy. And simply, I had to make this pick because it was just too iconic to not do it. And I liked the look of it. But yeah, in the future, I will for sure make some time to watch some of the classics. That's for sure. Coincidentally, this was the drawing that I struggled with the most. Probably because I didn't have such a clear idea of what I wanted to do. The actual shape of the character was something that I think I got right, like pretty quickly, but the colors, I even struggled with the background color. That was something I think shouldn't be struggling with, but I did. I had some ideas, wanted to pick up bright magenta, and then I tried some red, and then a color in between. I ended up choosing the color in between, but still starting from there was pretty rough. I had some ideas for the other ones of what I would do with the lighting, but when it came to this one, I was completely lost. Something that I like to do is choosing colors that are in the near range of the color that I'm working with. But with this shading and lighting process, I was kinda lost. I used something that I don't normally do too much, which is picking brighter colors, so I knew that threw me off a little bit. But in the end, after choosing for hours to no end, I think I did okay. I think it doesn't look bad, right? But well, at least I tried, and I do like what I ended up with. Now, I feel, at least considering how the video game has so many different costumes, there are probably many different ways to represent Jason, and one attire that I do believe was probably one of the first ones was pretty similar looking to the one that Michael Myers has. So I went with this one, which is the one with the jacket. And now that I remember, I actually used this version for inspiration for a few Halloweens ago. It was funny that I actually got to scare a lot of people just by getting in character and walking pretty menacingly. I didn't expect that, even less from a pretty improvised costume, but I actually feel like I'm good at improvising things like that, so I was pretty proud of it. It was a fun experience I never expected to have, scaring people like that. Yeah, so this piece also had my favorite lettering out of all of the three, and I think that comes down to the details. I think not only did I follow the original lettering a lot more, which I wasn't intending to. I never tried to copy any of the titles, but for this one, I think it just, and I think it also comes down to the little details that I put in the title, in the letters, which are those little splats of blood, and I think that gives it a lot more personality. That's what I think. And here is Jason. Any hope for him being in Dead by Daylight? No? Still in legal hell? Okay. Oh no, I didn't hear you at all. And it is Halloween! Oh! Ah! Now we have here Michael Myers. From the greatly themed and greatly named movie Halloween! What a coincidence! Michael Myers to me has a really cool thing about it, and that is that it has a great theme and style to it. Something about the mask and about the simple act of being, you know, around and quiet. Many of the things he does just end up being very menacing. And that sells really well its persona of having like a mystic aura to it. Some undefined bad vibes, which are good because he's bad. You get me, right? So for this franchise, I think I've seen the original one and the first part of the new ones, which there are two. So I've yet to see that second one, but I'm interested in it, so that's the thing. And while I do not know the complete lore of everything that came in all of the sequels, I do find it fun that it took some weird turns from what I hear. But that's something that happens when you have so many movies like that. You get some sort of a power creep. And now this new set of movies, I believe, work really well as a sequel reboot sort of deal. Because as far as I think I know, I think it ignores some of the old ones in the middle. But maybe one day I can look into some of those. So when it comes to the drawing, this was actually the easiest one out of all the little posters that I made. Because something about the shape was really simple. Wait, the shape? Some of you might get it. And as I was saying, the colors were really simple, especially when it came to picking a background color. For me, it was obvious that it had to be orange. And while I think I did a great job on the Ghostface background, because that was an idea that I had, the green was something that I just came up with this one, I felt like the orange background was something that needed to be there and that it would work so well together. It was just perfect. And it just works even better when you think about blue being what was it, complementary color, or I forget, but they work together well, so yeah, looking good so far. Something I need to admit, while I don't feel bad about it, is that doing all these drawings, I could only think that I need to practice the hands that I make. I don't think they're bad, but I feel I need to get used to making more dynamic shapes for them. A thing I especially struggle with is the foreshortening of the tip of the fingers, but at least I did like what I ended up making. And just another fun thing that I really just enjoyed while making this is that I love making this type of shoe. It is a very simple style of footwear, but I think it works so well. Something about it feels so cartoony and appropriate, and while I could make something more detailed and pretty much specific to it, something about this just feels right. Maybe because in the end, this is something that I would think I would see in Scooby-Doo, and somehow that really works. Is that the reason? Would that be it? I don't know. I think maybe. And here it is, Michael Myers from Halloween. And why not? Let's take a look to all the 3 posters that I made together. Which one did you like the most? Hey, psst, I'm here, hiding. If you like this, please like it and subscribe. I will be trying to see you as soon as I can, and I hope that I have much more to share. Thank you so much for watching, Grubs, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye bye. I I hope they don't see me here.